When you're young, you're fertile, you're producing eggs, you're bringing life into the world, and then you get older, no more eggs. You can't bring any more life into the world, so they just set you on fire. On this video, we're going to be discussing one of the topics that greatly affects women in midlife. And I'm going to take today's discussion from one of the books that I've read this year that has been very impactful and informative, educative to me. And what book am I talking about? It's called The New Rules of Menopause by Dr. Stephanie Faubion. A Mayo Clinic Guide to Perimenopause and Beyond. A Mayo Clinic Guide to Perimenopause and Beyond. Here I must put a disclaimer. I am reviewing this book as I have read it and as I have understood it. Who am I? I'm a female in midlife going through these changes, and I'm interested in knowing how my body works. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a nurse. I'm just a woman going through changes in her body and is interested about learning more and sharing what she has learned with fellow women. But one of my favorite quotes from this book is, your body is not broken, it's just changing, and with like any other change, it can sometimes be rocky, and that is what women experience in midlife. Now, if you're anywhere from the ages of 30 to 55, from 30 to 55 and beyond, you need to read this book. What fascinated me and what caught me from the onset was the introduction. And I'm gonna read a little bit of the introduction of this book and tell me whether you like it. Tell me what you think about it. Menopause today. What's happening to my body? In 2019, comedian Wenda Sykes performed a comedy routine about menopause that was part of her Netflix special, Not Normal. This is our plight, right? She said emphatically. When you're young, you're fertile, you're producing eggs, you're bringing life into the world, and then you get older, no more eggs. You can't bring any more life into the world, so they just set you on fire. This reference to hot flashes, the sudden feeling of warmth that's a common symptom of the menopause transition, resonated. The audience broke into the kind of laughter that gave the impression, yeah, that sounds like right. This book has educated me this year. I don't know why we did not learn these things in school. I don't know why women have to go through our own lives without understanding what awaits us the years ahead as our body changes. This topic needs to be taught to teenage girls in high school as they learn about puberty and adulthood. They need to learn about the midlife years of their bodies. Menopause is a universal experience for about half of the world's population. By 2030, 1.2 billion people worldwide will be post-menopausal. I will be one of those. The reason I picked up this book, because I wanted to know what are these changes that are happening to my body. So that's just a bit of the introduction of this book. And please, I want you to let me know in the comments whether this is the kind of information that you would be interested in, because right now I'm fired up to bring you more information on this topic. And grab your girlfriends. Let's talk about these things. Honestly, no more suffering in silence, because you're not going through these changes of your body by yourself. Tons of other women out there are going through it, and you don't have to be ashamed. The more we talk about this topic, the more we can be empowered to teach the daughters that we bore, to educate the male children that we have brought into this world, because, well, those will be their wives and their partners and their sisters and their co-workers. They need to know these things, and the more this is no longer a mystery, the more midlife changes to the female body is no longer a mystery, is no longer something to be laughed at, is no longer something to be ashamed of, the better we shall all be. and the better it will be for women, right? As we progress, a lot more research is being done on topics such as menopause. And we, the generation that is now in midlife, will be the forerunners, the pace setters of this kind of changes, which are quite welcome. You know, have you ever picked up a book and without knowing what to expect? I thought it would be like a textbook. I did not expect it to be such fun reading and learning and understanding what was going on in this book. So for some, menopause may come prematurely and more suddenly and skip the typical lead up. This may be due to medical interventions such as chemotherapy, pelvic radiation therapy, or surgical removal of your ovaries. For some people, menopause just comes early without any obvious reasons. Your body is not broken, it's just changing. And as with all change, it can sometimes be rocky. That statement just made me make up my mind on reading the rest of the book. And it's a big book. It's a whole 21 chapters, I believe, and so much to cover in there. Now, I don't know what you've had or what you know about menopause. I don't know if you've done your own research. I don't know what you expect of your own body. But for me, I just knew that I wanted to continue with my active lifestyle when I got to the ages of 50 and beyond. And I did not want to sit and accept all the tales that you hear of, oh, it's aging, oh, it's okay to, the body aches, and it's okay to slow down, and oh, you know, it's all part of aging. And I was like, do I really just have to accept that? Well, I'm not menopausal yet. I might as well disclose that. I'm perimenopausal, but I'm soon getting there. And I want to know how to deal with my body changes. So if you're interested in walking this journey with me, I say, let's go. So what else would you expect from this book? And I want you to let me know whether you want to hear more about this book, and or whether you're interested in taking on these subjects and learning more about midlife. So this book has like 3 parts. In part 1, you learn how and why your body rules are changing as you go through perimenopause and menopause. And part 1 will focus on defining and explaining the phases of the menopause transition, specific challenges and solutions in menopause, and changes throughout the body. Part 2, those already going through menopause, managing menopausal symptoms, with chapters focusing on the latest expertise in medication therapy, holistic therapy, and strategies targeted to each symptom. This section will empower you to find the most effective solution for your symptoms and your life with your own health care provider. Finally, part 3 will go further down the road to the years of postmenopause. The average 55-year-old woman can expect to live another 30 or more years after reaching menopause. So menopause is not the end of life. That's 1/3 of your life. And while you'll be free from all the risk of unintended pregnancy, staying on top of other health risks that come along with aging can help you get the most out of this season of life. The chapters in the 3rd section of the book will hold important information about screenings, preventive care, and lifestyle tips for a healthy heart, strong bones, sound mental health, and much more. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, those who are here to support your ladies, this book is a must read. So, understanding menopause. What is menopause? On the topic of new rules, it may seem like the rules of your body are changing and no one told you. You turned 45 and weight started creeping on, even though you're staying active. Suddenly, you're feeling an occasional hot flash, and more than ever, you can't remember where you left your phone. Then your period gets wonky. It's not just in your head. Your body is changing. As you approach and enter menopause, your chemistry and physiology are shifting to a new set of rules and a new normal. This is a normal life stage that happens to every woman or everyone born with a uterus and ovaries, but it can feel anything but normal. Menopause occurs when your ovaries stop making estrogen and progesterone, female hormones that are key for menstrual cycles and fertility. In most women, menopause happens naturally, somewhere around age 52. Menopause can also be the result of a medical procedure such as chemotherapy, pelvic radiation therapy, or the surgical removal of the ovaries. Most women will notice changes in their body in the years before menopause. That period is called perimenopause. And after menopause, that period is called postmenopause. These changes, like menopause itself, are different for everyone. Some women experience many symptoms of menopause, including hot flashes and drenching night sweats, which can be hugely disruptive to daily life and last for years. Others notice hardly any disruptions. I hope I'm that lucky, but I'm not. I am already noticing some changes. Each person's experience is unique, and while some of the changes you encounter may be surprising and unpleasant, or both, keep in mind that what you're going through is a natural part of life, and even more importantly, know that there are ways to treat or help manage these symptoms. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. Now, there are a myriad of symptoms for menopause. For me, all I knew was hot flashes. That's all I've ever heard about, honestly, and weight gain, right? But before we even get to the symptoms, let me show you from this book how the hormones in your body change. It's crazy. This top part is how, you see the way the pattern is? That's the nice pattern of your hormones when in your 20s, early 30s, you're still having your period, your cycle is good and normal, no worries. This is how your hormones regulate themselves. And then when you come to perimenopause, they take this crazy turn. You see that? They're all over. No wonder you're hot and then cold, you're moody and then happy, because your hormones go crazy. And then finally, post-menopause, they kind of settle into a smooth vibe right there. So this period is the most confusing one, right? And that is what we want to talk about so that we know how to handle that period. So the symptoms of menopause are quite many. I did not even realize how many they are, and we are going to talk about them. Just to mention a few, apart from hot flashes and weight gain, mood changes, brain fog, depression, hair loss, facial hair, dry eyes, blurred vision, even glaucoma. Your hearing also changes, your mouth and dental changes, burning mouth syndrome, cavities, yes, cavities, gum infections, dry skin, acne, bruising easily, wrinkles, of course, because of lack of loss of estrogen, joint pain, not caused by arthritis, a myriad of symptoms. What to do? Track your symptoms, write them down or take a note of them on your device if you want to. Go talk with your doctor and see how they can help you. We have come to that time in our development as humans that we know there's something that can be done, and we do not need to be quiet about this. And ladies, women, you do not have to suffer. We do not have to suffer. Let's talk about it and find out how we can transition with a bit more ease. But most importantly, don't forget to share and to apply the information that you will learn from this book. If this is vital information, and there are many other books out there, but this was my favorite, or this has been my favorite at the moment. Very soon I'll review another one. As soon as I'm done reading it, I'll let you know, and I'll review it, and I'll share what I learn about it. But in the meantime, if you're in perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, and you really want more information about this, let me know in the comments. Please let me know in the comments. If you're still young, early in your 30s, and you're curious and you want to learn and prepare yourself for what's to come, let me know too in the comments, and let's keep this rolling. Anytime I need to do some research on anything medical, I do trust the Mayo Clinic, because it's a team of doctors coming together, sharing information. You can find your information online. You can read research papers if you have the time. You can consult your doctor. But sometimes, even what your doctor tells you, you want to go and do some more research and find out more, because sometimes the doctor's appointment can be a very short period of time, and they don't have time to give you in details everything that you need to know, right? So I find it always helpful for me to do a little bit more research, and I also enjoy reading. So I will take up a book and read just because I'm curious and I want to know more. But when I picked up this book, I knew that I had to share it. I just had to share this information. Why? Because it's a book that is really well written, broken down into sections. It is readable. Like I said at the beginning, I thought it would be like a textbook format, but no, it's enjoyable, and there's so many fun stories in here. I really want you to get to hear them.
Okay, so having reviewed that, if you like it, I want you to not get keep. Share this with your friends and families, with your sisters, with your girlfriends, with your colleagues, with anyone. Don't forget to subscribe and to turn the notification on if you want to, so that you know when the next video is made.
Bye for now. Studies found that in the hunter-gatherer societies, foraging grandmothers supplied food and childcare. And in ancient Greece, as communities evolved from 700 to 480 BC, postmenopausal women were viewed as renewed virgins and anointed as priestesses. Oh, that's interesting.